Dear children, let's start reading page number 38. On page 37, we were reading how after a decade, the words that narrator used in order to counsel his son that one should not scribble on the surfaces of the objects were still ringing in his ears. He was still feeling as he was listening those words. And when he reprimanded his son that he should not scribble on the objects because of his scribbling, they will have to get their refrigerator painted again. To which his son replied, "This was immediately followed by my son's voice. Dad, how much does the paint cost?" See the innocence of the child. His son replied, "How much money is required to get the paint?" This is an incident a decade before. That happened a decade before. Narrator was recalling this incident and all those words were still ringing in his ears. I smiled and cried at the same time, wondering whether he ever thought of those times in his faraway land. I smiled and cried at the same time. The narrator means to say that he got emotional. The narrator means that he was emotional when he says, "I smiled and cried at the same time." And now, why was narrator smiling? He smiled because of his son's innocent reply, and he cried because his son was away from him. He was in faraway land. He was not with him at that point of time. He was recalling the conversation he had with his son, and then he was wondering. Narrator was wondering. Wondering means to ask questions from oneself about something. So the writer was thinking, does his son miss him as he misses his son all the time? He loved his son dearly. So this chapter is over. Let's read about the writer. Zirsankema was born on 1981, is an upcoming writer of short stories whose works deal with contemporary themes. Zirsankema is an upcoming writer. Upcoming means forthcoming. Whose works deal with contemporary themes. Contemporary means of the present time, and themes means the main idea. He likes to be known as a writer of pop literature. Zirsankema likes to be known as the writer of pop literature. His work entitled Ramada 19, a collection of humor, short stories and novelette, is to be followed soon by 2 more books which he is currently writing. So his work with the title Ramada is a collection of humor. Humor is something that makes the audience, that makes the reader laugh. And short stories and novelette. Novelette means a short novel. Is to be followed soon by 2 more books which he is currently writing. So Zirsankema is currently writing 2 more books. This is all about the chapter Dad.